Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ango, and thank you guys for my first week on the job here on Tony Pizza Guy's channel. Your guys' feedback has been really awesome, and I really appreciate it. But today I want to bring you guys a new news video and talk about the projected path to WrestleMania for Bray Wyatt. Now, this is a very big deal, guys, because Bray Wyatt has been killing it recently in the WWE. What a wonderful performance in the Royal Rumble. However, the way he was eliminated, I think it could definitely be argued. I didn't really like that. But Bray Wyatt has looked very, very strong. And these promos that we have seen for the past couple weeks have been incredible. And a lot of the feedback, from the WWE Universe on Twitter, a lot of people are saying that Bray Wyatt's going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And according to a lot of reports, that seems to be the case. But I kind of have a little issue with this. And deep down inside, I really do like The Undertaker, and I think you guys like The Undertaker as well. But Undertaker already lost at WrestleMania, and for Undertaker to lose again at WrestleMania, I think it devalues the entire meaning of the entire WrestleMania streak. You know what I mean? 2 straight losses at WrestleMania. I don't know. I feel like WWE missed the mark with Bray Wyatt and the Undertaker match. Now, the idea has been that this would be the way for Undertaker to go out. This would be Undertaker's last hurrah, and he would be able to put over Bray Wyatt. And obviously, if Bray Wyatt were to get a win over The Undertaker, it's a very, very big deal. But yeah, the big rumor right now is Bray Wyatt would go on to face Undertaker. And get this, a lot of the people that have been writing these reports, a lot of these things that are coming out of social media and the internet, which we always have to take with a grain of salt. I'm pretty sure Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker is pretty much set in stone, but the gimmick match now that is involved is very big, and that would be a Hell in a Cell match. Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker Hell in a Cell would be a really interesting match. We've seen Bray Wyatt in an Inferno match. If you really want to have Bray Wyatt go over, you can have him bury The Undertaker, and no pun intended, but a buried alive match would be really legit. It has to be something that Undertaker is known for, but the big one right now is Hell in a Cell. And Undertaker has been in so many Hell in a Cell matches at a WrestleMania, so it's like, I don't know if this is anything new for us, but Bray Wyatt going on to verse The Undertaker is a very big deal, and there's a couple reasons why. Now, a lot of people have to understand that right now there's really no monster in WWE. I mean, Kane is unmasked. He's gone corporate. And then you have Rusev, but he's not a monster. He's just an anti-American Russian villain. He's a very big heel. Kane, like I said earlier, he's corporate. You have Rusev, who is the un-American, anti-hero. And then you have Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt is your only guy on the roster right now who has a gimmick that is, it's just very dark and deep. There's a lot of a story. I think there's a lot with Bray Wyatt that you can really put out there to create a story. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, for example, Bray Wyatt has the whole sister Abigail, and The Undertaker, the big thing with The Undertaker has always been the urn. Somehow incorporating both of those into the storyline can do wonders for both guys. But like I reverted to earlier in the commentary, Undertaker's a lot older now, and that sucks because Undertaker's a lot older. Some pictures that Michelle McCool has been Instagramming and tweeting and stuff is, Undertaker gained a little bit of weight. It's not a big deal because he's in good shape, but physically, white facial hair, white hair. It's just, you can tell he's definitely aged, and I think that kind of hurts it. Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker years ago would have been amazing. But obviously, character development didn't happen at that point, and it's just one of those things that, like, there's just so much potential, but WWE might be a little bit too late on it. And it sucks because now we have Sting in the WWE, and I personally feel that Sting should be versing Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. And I think Bray Wyatt is actually, I think he's going to be the guy that actually versus Sting. I know a lot of people don't really expect that to happen. I know a lot of people are expecting Triple H to have that match, but Triple H, I can definitely see, I can see him putting Bray Wyatt as the guy that represents him. Sting versus Bray Wyatt would be very incredible. Will that happen? I don't know, because we're going to see Sting and Triple H go face-to-face at Fastlane. But, Bray Wyatt versus Sting is a little bit more manageable than Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker. And it would make a lot more sense too, just because like the way Sting has been brought into WWE and the way Bray Wyatt has been developing these past few years, it just makes perfect sense to put them in a story. And that's why it sucks that Undertaker really just isn't the same Undertaker. But I guess we'll see what happens. Obviously, within time, storylines progress. WrestleMania is in a month and a half, I would say, at this point, or actually just a little bit under a month. So, yeah, I mean, no, it's a month and a half. I'm wrong. But WrestleMania, I mean, it's a very big stage. Undertaker going out, like I said, the streak ending, 21-2 or whatever the case is. I just don't like it. I don't like the idea of it. But I also don't like the idea of Bray Wyatt losing either. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Bray Wyatt does need to lose at WrestleMania. But I feel like right now this is the way that WWE can really push him over 100% into the main event. And it's crazy because now you look at what NXT has done for their superstars and the development of their superstars. And, I don't think a lot of people really expected Bray Wyatt to be at the top so soon. But this past year and a half, I mean, he's been doing amazing. Same with all three guys from The Shield. So it's like when you look at NXT, they're really grooming their next star. And that's just a very big deal. Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. I think it's an interesting matchup. There's a good story that they could tell with it. Obviously, Undertaker honoring Paul Bearer once again would be pretty good. I don't want to say Bray Wyatt to get cheap heat, but they've done some really amazing stuff with the hologram and things like that. It's one of those things. If Paul Bearer's family is like okay with it, I would love to see WWE implement Bray Wyatt and Paul Bearer, some sort of hologram. I think there's just so much potential with it, and that's the beauty of wrestling. It is scripted, you know what I mean? It's entertainment, it's television, but when it comes to WrestleMania, we've seen them do some pretty over the top things. These past few pay-per-views, Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose, or whenever Dean Ambrose had that match and Bray Wyatt got involved, I mean, that was so amazing. That was so beautiful, and I think a lot of people actually truly appreciated that. And yeah, I mean, that's just kind of why, like, right now I feel that Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker is a great story, but the match might be pretty lackluster. And obviously the results from that match can be a little bit choosy. It could be a little bit of an issue. Whereas having Bray Wyatt versus Sting could work out either way. But then again, too, Sting is a must-win situation. He can't lose against Triple H in his first ever match for WWE. And that could be an issue, you know what I mean? So Sting versus Triple H is a little bit more logical than Sting versus Bray Wyatt. But it was a possibility. But Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker is pretty much the direction for Bray Wyatt this upcoming WrestleMania. So I do like I do like the story, but how will the match turn out? I'm not sure. Will Bray Wyatt have to carry The Undertaker? It's very, very possible. But if that is the case, I think it'll be a short match. I don't think we'll see anything too extensive. It's going to be more about the visual presentation. Like I said, if it's a Hell in a Cell match like it's rumored to be, that would be incredible. But I don't think WWE should go that route with a guy like The Undertaker at his age right now. I think WWE should really go the route of a Buried Alive match. It's been a long time since we've seen one. And, of course, Bray Wyatt burying Undertaker. I mean, if that's how Undertaker goes out and has to retire, then that's the way you do it, And I think it works out. I think it's fine. I think it works out fine. But I want to know what you guys think. Obviously, going forward with WrestleMania, there's so many possibilities. There's so many rumors right now with Daniel Bryan and, the heavyweight championship match. But I'm not really concerned about the world title this WrestleMania. It's a very big storyline-esque pay-per-view. A lot more based on the presentation. And I think, Bray Wyatt's one of those guys that I think his character and his style and his promos, I think the build-up, with the Bray Wyatt and Undertaker match is incredible. But obviously being a Hell in a Cell match, it's just amazing. Who knows? Who knows what WWE does? Sister Abigail. I think sometime soon WWE has to put a face to Sister Abigail. Whether it's Bayley from NXT or whatever the case might be, it just something has to happen with Sister Abigail. And you tell the story of Sister Abigail, and you throw up some holograms, and you get Paul Bearer involved. Obviously, we can have a spectacular WrestleMania match. And of course, Paul Bearer has already been touched on last year, for WrestleMania. But actually for the last 2 WrestleManias, but there's just so much potential. So anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think, and leave a comment down below. Peace.